Hello, my friends. This is Natasha, founder of On Purpose Projects, bringing you another tip about how to create a high performance business website. This is a question I get asked a lot, and it's sort of a technical basic, but I thought it'd be important to go through it today. The difference between a staging site and a production site. Um, a lot of people have heard the term, but they don't really know what it means. And basically, what that means is when you're designing or developing a website, you never want to be working on the live site. You always want to be working on like a temporary test staging version where you make all the edits, all the changes, all the optimization. And then once that's all approved and done, then that is pushed to replace the current live site. So you have, again, sort of that beta that's tested, optimized, ready to go, that the team is seeing, that the dev team and your team and everyone is working on to get it ready to go. But then once it goes live, essentially what the staging site does is replace the live site. So now that live site is an exact copy of the staging site. And so what happens is so then going forward with further edits, you can do the same cycle. You update the staging site and then push it live to the live site. That is really the basics of it. But what some people get confused, we're like, okay, well, if I update the staging site, does it automatically update the live site? And to that, the answer is no. They're two totally separate sites. You can see one over here and one over here. They don't necessarily overlap. If you update one, it doesn't necessarily update the other. I wish that was the case, but it doesn't. So as you're making edits, just keep in mind which version you want to update. So for example, we have a client right now who's changing some text on her website. And she's like, oh, should I put it on staging or should I put it on live? On the production or live site, same thing. And I'm like, just put it on the live site. If you're just changing text and wording and nothing is going to crash and nothing's going to break, just the live site. But if we're talking about doing big changes, big functionality updates, things that could compromise the functionality of the site or the look, or something that could make your site work funny or look funny, or definitely do it on staging first. But small front end edits like changing images or changing a blog post, if you know what you're doing, live site is totally fine. But keeping in mind the important thing between staging and live is remembering which version is the most recent. Because let's imagine that you make a lot of edits on your production site, but then you make some on your staging site, one will replace the other. So making sure that all the edits are done on one version of the site. Because sometimes what happens is people will do some edits on live and then they'll do some on staging, and then they want us to come in and push staging to live, but what's going to happen is that staging site is going to do a full replace. So all those changes are going to be wiped out. So you as the client tracking which one is up to date and making sure that you're not going to lose work when your dev team either transfers the live site to the staging site or the staging site to the live site, making sure they're both in alignment. And yeah, this will save a lot of time, but that's really the terminology. So in short, in most cases, they do not automatically update. They're two totally separate websites. To see staging, usually staging a site your clients will never see unless you send it to them by accident. And again, staging is a push to a straight replace. Small edits, small front-end edits that are not going to cause any technical danger, do them live. More dangerous edits, more risky edits, do on staging. Make sure staging, again, 100% approved, everything's working, it's run through tests, it's optimized, it's mobile responsive. Bah, push it live. So anyhow, if you have any questions about that, just wanted to kind of explain that one, and I will talk to you tomorrow.